Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and I just wanted to weigh in on the social media influencers that are basically like trending right now. And in all honesty, I've wanted to talk about it since the foolishness first started popping off, but I wasn't in a great space. I had a lot of stuff going on. For those of y'all who have been following me, y'all already know what's been going on to an extent. So, I haven't been around, but I'm trying to get myself back out there. And from time to time, they already know I do what I call thoughts post, where I'm discussing things that are happening in the social media world, in the real world, whether it's about celebrity news and gossip and all that stuff, TV shows, movies, it don't really matter. Political, it just depends on what it is. If it's something that is of interest to me or it's something that's disturbing or whatever, if it's something that I want to talk about, then sometimes I'll bring it up in what I call thoughts post. And this is a thoughts post today. So let me just get into this. Just in case you are unaware of the people that I'm talking about, let me give you a little bit of background. Now, I'm not going to try to make it seem like I just live for them and I just know every little detail, because I don't. But when it comes to the husband, I knew of his existence long before he got with his wife. Okay? So, the person that I'm referring to in this moment, his name is Robert Hampton, if I'm not mistaken. He goes by LaTruth, LaTruth. And his wife's name is Brianna. Now, he started popping up like on my timeline as like suggestions and all this or whatever, different things that, Facebook would suggest. And so he would pop up, he had music and little stuff like that. And so I was like, oh, okay, for me, even if I'm not all the way here for you like that, like if it's not my cup of tea per se, or it's okay, because to me, he was okay as an artist. Nothing that I would be like, ooh, let me go run out and buy that. Like, I mean, because I come from a musically inclined family, like I know what like good singing. Like you got to be able to Kiki Wyatt, Fantasia, Shirley Murdoch, like sang, Anthony Hamilton. You got to be able to sing for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm finna buy your album, I'm finna buy your single, I'm finna do all of this. I think he sings and he raps. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all know I live for Project Pat. A lot of people live for Project Pat. Didn't know they was living for him. They sample a lot of his music. Like he getting checks off of people who have sampled him. He ain't even really at a tour like that unless he want to. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, when it came to Robert Hampton, he was just this person that would pop up all the time. And I would kind of look and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just the type of person where if I see that you're doing something productive, you're not out in the streets, you're not doing something chaotic that would bring cause for me to be like, oh, here we go. You're over here being a detriment to the black community. Then I ain't got no problem with you. Do what you do. He was gaining followers, you know what I'm saying, subscribers, all of that. People lived for him. There are a lot of people who thought he was this amazing looking man. He wasn't ever somebody that I deemed to be the finest thing that ever was. And I myself, I already know I'm not the finest thing that ever was. And that's not something that I'm trying to convey, because I'm not trying to catch nobody and I don't want nobody to look at me like that. It just is what it is. Y'all excuse me. I just like putting moisturization on my hands and things, and that's just what I'm doing. I have to still do my hair. I already washed it, thank goodness, because I just hadn't been in the mood to do nothing, and I hate touching my hair really in the wintertime. I just hate doing my hair in the wintertime. It's always been that way. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Just wanted y'all to understand what was going on. I'm not trying to divert y'all's attention, but that's what's going on. It's going to annoy me until I get it done. So, you know what I'm saying? When it came to him, LaTruth, I was like, oh, okay. Every now and again, I'll watch a few minutes of what he put up there to support and then go about my business. But when he got with his wife, I saw that they were doing like a whole lot of like skits and pranks and all that stuff. And like with some people, I'm not really here for it like that. But I noticed early on that I just felt like, I don't know about this. Like, she just didn't seem happy. And I'm not just saying this because of what's going on now. But before I even go any further, I'm going to stop this so that I can let the video clip play from what I just saw. That's a part of the live that she just did a little while ago. And then I'm going to come back and continue talking. I'm going to try not to be before y'all very long because, like I said, I do need to get ready so that I can go my behind to sleep because I do have to work later. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the luxury of being able to just be at the house like other people and not have to work. It is what it is. I don't mind doing what I got to do for me to go and get my money so I can pay my bills. But I'll be back briefly. Okay? All right.
This man done so much and said so much and dragged me and then making mockery videos with these fucking talks when all you had to do was be honest with these people and say, you know what? I apologize and I'm man enough to own up to my shit. I ain't mean to break my wife's finger. I ain't mean to fucking hit my wife in the head. It happened and I apologize. That would have made way lighter shit happen for you than for you to keep sitting here lying. Than for you to keep sitting here acting like ain't shit happening. Then for you to act like it's a prank, it's a skit. All that shit he did leading up to where it's at right now is because of him. And he trying to make me feel like I'm to blame. No, it's you. It's because of you and Desharia and Sierra why I'm going. No! If you would have man and own up to what the fuck you did and apologize as a real man, if you would have apologized, then it would have been way lighter for you. But people stopping to support you and people coming in your comments talking shit to you is because they want you to own up to your shit. They want you to be a man and say, you know what, I fucked up. But you're not man enough to do that. You're not man enough to do that. It would have been way less ridicule if you just would have been honest. But you done lied so much to these people on the internet. You done lied so much that you made this bed the way it is. You made this bed the way it is. Did nobody make this bed for you? You did.
So you saw that clip. So anyway, they started, continuing as a couple to get a lot of people who were supporting them. All this time, he was still, putting out music. They have children together. He already had kids before he met her. She had at least one child before she met him. All of that, right? So every time I looked up, even when she was pregnant, she just had moments where I just felt like she wasn't happy. And I'm like, I don't know what it is. And he always gave me this narcissistic, I think I'm better than you. And there are some men who have this domineering, like, I'm the man, so I'm supposed to be able to lead. But it's just a whole lot of other stuff that go along with it. And it's just not the I'm a protector type of lead. It's not the type where you can be quiet and still be saying a lot at the same time. He just be doing too much. And I was just like, oh, I ain't here for it. Like, so I just kind of, fell off from watching them. So then tell me why my friend reached out to me and was like, girl, what they got going on? I was like, what you talking about? I'm thinking they still doing their usual stuff because every now and again, the algorithm would still throw up little videos where the wife would do pranks. And so I'm like, girl, what you talking about? So I look, and the most recent video was of him. And I was like, wait a minute. Is that him? Now, for those of y'all who don't know about them, the most recent thing that has happened in their lives is that he had, I think, some form of a stomach cancer. And he is like very, very small now. And when I first saw him, he was this tall, like solid dude. He wasn't fat. He was just like thick or whatever, right? So then when I saw this video, I was like, dang, why this person look like LaTruth in the face a little bit? And then I was like, wait a minute. Cause like he was still trying to figure out how he was going to eat and all this other stuff, because he doesn't really have that big of an appetite anymore. Like, he can't like keep a lot of stuff down. It's a lot. I think they had to go in and take stuff out, you know, surgery wise. Like, he had major surgery to remove cancer because he had like stomach cancer or some type of a cancer like that, right? So I'm looking like, who is this? I was like, why did it look like LaTruth? And then I'm like, wait a minute. The video I ended up seeing was of him out and about. And so I think he had supporters who were asking questions, who wanted to know, how does he eat and what does he eat in a day and how much can he keep down and all this other stuff. So I'm watching the video and he's like kind of explaining, and I was like, oh my gosh, this man had cancer. Wow. So, you know, I kind of started peeking in every now and again, trying to see what was going on. So the wife was there the whole time. She's supporting him. Despite all that, he looks completely different from how he looked when they first got together. But she's sticking beside him. So I'm like, okay then, black love, okay. So then imagine my surprise when my friend reaches out to me again once all of this stuff started popping off, and it became so big that major outlets started reporting on them. Like, what's going on with the LaTruths? And I'm like, well, what y'all talking about? And my friend was like, girl, look at this. What they got going on? So I'm looking, talking about he done hit her. She had gone live and showed her hand wrapped up because she said she had to go somewhere and get her hand wrapped up. And it was a lot. So I'm going to be skipping around for some of y'all. Y'all are going to have to go and look at their videos to like get the full scale of what was going on. But the gist of it was they got into it. For whatever reason, they stay into it all the time, actually. But we didn't know that he was like beating on her and all this other stuff, you know, as far as seeing bruises, because she's not a dark-skinned person. She's not dark like he is. So it's not like it's a situation where we would have been able to just, you know, say, okay, girl, we see he hitting you in the face and all this other stuff. So she got on live and she showed her hand, and I think she had said some stuff happened, and he was kind of like, no, nothing happened. Whatever. And so she was like, my hand looks like this. It's wrapped up. I had to go to this place and get them to do what they need to do. My hand was swollen, whatever. So y'all already know. For those of y'all who follow me, y'all already know some months back I had an accident at work. And I tripped and hit the ground really, really hard. But I caught myself. But the way I caught myself with my hand, I ended up hurting my hand. And I could not have any use of this hand. This hand swole up. And it was like almost double the size of this hand. And I still have minor issues from time to time. I am like 95 to 98% healed from it. But every now and again, depending on what I'm doing at work, it kind of triggers it. So yeah, I can sympathize with a hand injury. But at this point, I ain't even gonna lie. Once they started having the little stuff with them in the news, gossip news outlets and things like that, I was like, okay, is this a skit? Is this for likes and views? Is this for clout? Because at this point, like, a lot of people have gone to lengths like that in order for bigger platforms to see them, put their information out there, and to guide traffic over there to their channel. So to me, that was a valid question for me to ask. Now, I am never going to sit up here and try to be like, well, just flat out say, oh, you're a liar, and accuse you of lying, because domestic violence is very real. A lot of people go through these things. And I'm just hoping that this was a situation that really happened, even though it's unfortunate, because it's like, now you're going to have to backtrack if you were lying. Oh, Lord. So that situation happened. Her daddy was there. So he went live and he was like, oh, well, if that's her daddy, if I did all these things to her and her daddy right there in the house, why didn't the daddy stop me? I'm little. I done had this surgery. How am I doing all these things to my wife? Whatever. They keep going back and forth, going live from different places, different parts of the house. And she left out, and it was just too much going on. So his relatives, like sisters, brothers, and all this other stuff, they going live about it. I'm just like, Lord, why are the sisters and brothers getting into it? Lord, please stop. One thing that I picked up on, and I don't know if they're blood related or whatever, but there's this one guy that a lot of y'all know that I'm pretty sure has popped up on y'all's news feeds. if you are on social media a lot. If it's his blood brother, I have no idea. But it's this man who is like in this poly relationship. He's with these women, and when you see him, he's normally walking somewhere and he has like this turban wrapped around his head, and he's with the wives, girlfriends, whatever they are. I think they're his wives, and people live for it. But they are brothers. And so as of late, I think he has said something in defense of Robert. Of course, his siblings have. And so she's on live like, I understand that's y'all brother, but I'm on here telling the truth about what has happened to me. And y'all want to back him up. Y'all know what has happened, whatever. And I'm just like, Lord, why is she on here crying to us about it? In a sense, like part of me is like, why is she on here doing this? And that's why a lot of people were in the comment section like, okay, girl, are you doing this for clout? A lot of people were like, oh yeah, this is comedic. Like they are really in the comment section going in because they feel like this is some kind of a grand skit that they're doing. And I kind of can understand why people are saying that, because she literally went live with him less than like 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. It's as if all this happened. Like this was after her hand got hurt and all of that. Oh, with her hand getting hurt, apparently according to him, he accidentally hit her with a tote. Not to mention, sometime after that, he went live and people were like, y'all keep bringing this tote up. He went and got the tote. This man went and got the tote, and because he's so small, he put himself inside of the tote. He was like, this is what y'all talking about. Y'all just really make it seem like I'm just this big man that did all this with this tote. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like he was making a mockery, and in the same breath saying, y'all go get my music. And I'm just like, if somebody is telling the world that I abused them and I didn't, the last thing I'm going to do is to try to promote an album. That's the last thing I'm going to do. But every time you turn around, go get my music. I got a new song out. Y'all go do that. Then he did the Derrick Jackson thing where they had gotten together, they eating together and all this other stuff. But before that happened, they had gotten together and made it seem like, oh, we are a family. They were sitting on the steps. Everybody was like, what is going on? She was sitting over there looking like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, if y'all want to see what happened, y'all gonna have to go back and look at their videos. Because on hers, she has certain videos up. He has certain videos up because sometimes they were not recording them together because, like I said, one person would go live and say something, and so the other one would want a rebuttal. That's what was going on. But I think the one where they were sitting on the stairs and he was just like, no, it was just a misunderstanding. And if I was this big bad bully, why would her dad be sitting up here in the house with us and have on these expensive shirts and things that I bought him? And I'm just like, that's another thing. I can't stand when somebody want to sit up there and use their influence against a person just because when you had some good times and you bought things for them or you gave them money or whatever gifts you gave, you want to bring that up. I hate when people want to bring up the monetary things that they've done for somebody. Don't bring that up as a way to try to discredit what people are bringing you to the carpet for right now. If you abused your wife, just say what you did and try to move forward. She's saying in the live that just happened, he has made things a lot worse for himself because it's like he's making a mockery of it. He's ridiculing everything about the situation instead of saying, you know what, I messed up. I did what I did. That's my wife. I love my wife. I want my life. You know what I'm saying? She made me better. She stuck beside me when I got sick because she could have easily been like a lot of other people, because if she really was after me for the clout and the money that I had coming in before she became somebody like that and, you know, started being an entrepreneur on her own, then she could have definitely left me. She could have left me when I was at my lowest, took the money, took the kids, because I'm in a state where I can't even take care of them. Could have did that, but she didn't. So she's showing how loyal she is. She's sticking beside him. He don't look the same no more. He's not able to do the things that he was able to do before. Like, she really got to stay there and take care of him. And she's trying to abide by the in sickness and in health. So it's just a lot of drama going on. I still don't know if it's a situation where there's a little bit of truth going on or it's a skit. Like, I don't know. I really hope that she's not sitting up here lying, because there are so many people out here that have been in and are currently in domestic violence situations that are viewing the video. They're saying, oh my gosh, I'm crying right now. You don't understand. You need to get away from him. And it's too much going on. I need for her to understand. Oh, and one of the things that I didn't like that she did in this particular video was she was in the video and she was just like, I just want to thank you. And I was just like, girl, not you telling us that he did all this stuff, but in the same breath saying that you thank him for these things. My thing is, all of these things should go without saying, because yes, you did not have a platform like that, if at all, before you got with him. But you were able to bring what you brought to the situation, and now you are your own woman. It is what it is. Girl, just leave. Be done. But she really was sitting up and saying, I want to thank you. And he allowed her to be able to sit at the house and do content from the house and not have to work no more. Just have these babies, be at the house, you know, just support me and my dream and all this other stuff. Cool, do what you do. That's what y'all agreed upon. That's what was happening. That's cool. And so, like, her sister was there. Everybody was telling her she needed to get off live because it was just too much going on. It was just like, come on now. A lot of people are like, why did you get on camera and start crying? She was just like, no, these people need to know what's going on. He going on live and he making a mockery and he's ridiculing everything about this situation, talking about the tote, which he really was. Like, if y'all were to see that video, I was just like, this is disgusting. And what disturbs me even more, which helps me to further know that people like this still exist, and I'll give examples as to why I'm saying this, it's so sickening. It's so stupid to me. There are women who still live for him, meaning they think he's fine. So they'll say little stuff, and I'm like, okay, they still married now. Come on now. You're doing too much. But they'll say little stuff. They'll still like be in his DMs and say little stuff to him. And I'm like, y'all have no couth. Y'all just thirsty and trifling. But that's the same as the people who still live for R to the Kelly. The people who still live for the other Aura. The people who still live for the other Robert. There are people right to this day. You have all this proof that's proving that this man is trash, and y'all still live for him. And this is not we need to just learn to separate the music from the man. No. In his case, the music was exactly who he was. He told you age ain't nothing but a number and all this other stuff. 99% of these situations. So, no. Anyway, I just wanted to weigh in on that a little bit. I just hope that this is a situation where she's being honest and that she's going to leave him, because they really sat up here and did a Derrick Jackson and made it seem like, we're doing a public apology because she just kind of blew this out of proportion. I accidentally hit her hand. I'm not an abuser and all this other stuff. And he did 99.9% of the talking. And it was so crazy that I'm really hoping that my senses are right about this. But when that particular video happened, where they were sitting on the steps and he was doing the majority of the talking and she was just sitting there looking like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. She really looked like she didn't want to be there. She really looked like, all right, dang. He done came to me and was like, all right, now, anime, this is what you need to say. This is what you need to do. Like, that's the way it looked, whether that was the case or not. And then towards the end of the video, she just started crying. He over here trying to get her in line. Like, you need to say this, tell the people this, do this, do. And it's like it looked like she was just kind of like, I'm over this. I don't want to fake the funk no more. She started crying. And I'm like, her body language is speaking volumes, but you still trying to roll with this possible lie. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it seems like he's the one at fault. And I'm just sick and tired of the foolishness. I'm sick and tired of it. Anyway, that's all I want to say, y'all. What are y'all thoughts on this? Have y'all been following this? Let me know down below in the comment section. Have y'all been following this foolishness? Because it has been popping up everywhere. They keep going live. Like, when she went live, I think she had like 16,000 people watching by the time it was over with. But she was crying down on this one. So where I saw it was at was on Facebook. And yeah, that's usually where I see their content. They pop up on Facebook. I'm just like, Lord, what in the world is going on? So hopefully, if this is a situation that is real, help her to get healing, because she keeps saying that he is breaking her, has broken her. She said that this was her second real relationship, but this was her first time becoming married to someone, and the only thing that she knew was motherhood prior to getting with him. And so this has been a situation that has broke her, and she wants to be able to heal, but he keeps making the situation worse and worse by going live and denying everything that he's done and making a mockery of it. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comment section if y'all have been following this, and what y'all think about what's going on. Do y'all think it's a skit? Do y'all think they're doing this for clout? Do you think this is an ultimate prank that they're pulling? Because if it is, it's very sick, because that was the first thought I had initially when I first saw it trending on bigger platforms. And a lot of people didn't even know about them. So they were like, what is this about? But yeah, the foolishness continues. I wish nothing but the best for both of them. I just want them to go somewhere and be healthy and heal separate from one another, do what they need to do for the children, for the sake of the children, and that's it. I don't think they need to be together anymore. I don't think they should have been together to begin with. I'm sorry. To me, from the beginning, when I first saw them get together, I was like, I don't know about this, because it just seemed like she was just there. I don't know what it is, but that's just what it seemed like to me. But anyway, y'all, I'll see y'all next time for something else. Have a good day.